Welcome to the Must See TV, the Must See Show, Signatures and Finisher Podcast. I'm your host, DS Wall. Also, my co host, my friend, my brother, the man who doesn't see color, JB. And we are joined by a special guest, a sleepy Double J, as dad
Yes.
is rocking her to sleep.
I am on dad duty right now and relegated to the nursery, which is why you get the glorious pictures of Tigger and Winnie the Pooh back there. Um, but yeah, things are going good. Things are
Good,
going
good,
good.
good.
She's so sleepy that she doesn't even want the pacifier now. So we should have a peaceful show.
All right, all right, all right. Well, on today's show, and me and Jamie was talking about this. There's really enough for us to talk about for as far as when it comes to WWE wrestling or anything because who cares at this point? I mean, damn, who really do
Damn.
cares? I mean, damn, who cares? And I'm not saying we don't care about wrestling. We do. I'm not saying we're not gonna stop talking about wrestling. We always gonna talk about wrestling. You just let you guys know, starting next week, actually for the next month or so, it actually longer than that, it's just gonna be AEW talk because WWE they some
Well,
clowns.
hold on. We have to congratulate one of my favorite wrestlers, New Japan Heavyweight Champion, Andrade.
All right, he finally won it. He finally got the
Yeah,
chip.
he got it.
He finally
He
got
got it.
congratulations, Andrade. You see what happens when you leave the machine and you go somewhere else and you become a champion? Something that been missing off his resume for about a good 10 years.
I think New Japan is about to have a very big explosion in popularity because they're tired of having their talent basically stolen between AEW and WWE. Everybody gives AEW a bad name, like AEW is the only ones poaching their talent. All of these guys that went to AEW all had conversations with WWE beforehand. Even Okada did. And they took AEW over WWE. But I think New Japan, now that they've got some new leadership and everything over there, I'm expecting them to focus on themselves and actually maybe land a TV deal over here.
I agree. And I expect New Japan to actually cut off all partnership with AEW and anybody else just so that they can refurbish and get all their talent back and get back to in the game of being one of the top wrestling promotions in the country. What?
Yeah, I mean, you go back 10 years ago, New Japan was still like, there was WWE, but for like the diehard wrestling fans, there was New Japan up here. Like 10 years and beforehand, New Japan was the pinnacle of wrestling.
I remember when I first started watching New Japan, it was Wrestle Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a wrestling tournament, some of the best of the best. And it was probably one of the best shows. Probably is the best wrestling show I have seen. Now it has took a major dip because the lack of talent they have, and plus all the talent is in AEW,
Mm-hmm.
CMLL. At that time, I think it wasn't Triple A wasn't involved. It was Stardom,
Yeah, Stardom.
and they all got plunged by. They all got all their talent got taken by AEW and WWE.
Mm-hmm.
So for the last few years, we couldn't see all that the great wrestling that we want to see for
Guaranteed,
wrestling.
I would say probably the first show that Stardom has after Kyrie Sane's non compete, you're going to see her on Stardom.
Yes, I believe so, and I do believe she is going to go back home to Japan.
They're
I know
saying
she's
she's
not
already
home.
there.
No,
They were
she's
saying that
not.
she, like, basically 2 days after her contract, that she was already back in Japan.
She wasn't.
No?
She said, no, it wasn't. She was not back in Japan yet. Um, and I know it was out there, but she did not want to leave.
Yeah, I saw the post where she didn't reference anything about not being in Japan, but saying that she never wanted to leave, she never quit, never
Mm-hmm.
anything, that she was let go. And of course, the WWE stooges put that out there to because there's so many people want to protect WWE. Like it blows my mind.
You can't protect. You can't protect a company that's about to fall from grace. I mean,
And it's not even that they're protecting WWE. It's people that want to protect TKO. Oh, TKO didn't have anything to do with these releases. This was all Nick Khan and Triple H. Well,
they
that
work for
makes it even
TKO.
worse.
Yeah.
That makes it worse. If it's TKO, you could say, okay, the leeches just want to save more money and call it that. It is what it is. When it's Triple H releasing people that he never even bothered to push, Kairi Sane could have been the women's champion if they wanted her to. And
Yeah,
they'll say, oh, well, nobody cheered for her. They cheered for Io and they cheered for Asuka. You didn't give them a reason to cheer for Kairi.
right. Um, it was reported that did come from TKO because the WWE has to meet a certain quota.
Mhm.
Now, did they have to release Kyrie saying no? They ain't had to. I think the most logical thing to do is like
Explain to me one of the most used talents that you had in all of 2025. Not just men, not just women. One of the most used talents on all of your shows last year. You didn't have an actual storyline for it. And then you release her in the middle of being the focal point of a story of two of your most popular talents with no payoff. And Michin and BFAB still have jobs.
there's a reason why they still have jobs.
Well, they have jobs because they dumped a bunch of money into Jade, and Jade looks like ass without them. So, yes, that is technically why they have jobs. But from a talent level, from even a storyline level, I love Michin. I love BFAB. I've defended both of them many times on this show. I especially love Michin. I don't know why they don't do more with Michin. But if we're just going for, we didn't have anything for these guys,
Release them.
release them. I mean, I kept saying, how many times did we do this show? And I said, just release the New Day. It's not that I hate the New Day. I have nothing against Xavier Woods or Kofi Kingston. I like them.
Kofi Kingston.
But you weren't using them.
Yeah, Kofi Kingston's a Hall of Famer.
Kofi Kingston's getting in for sure. Like, no question. Yeah. Xavier Woods is the one. He'll get in as part of the New Day. He's going to be like X-Pac. He's going to get in multiple times.
But not as a
but never on his own accord.
No.
But if it wasn't for Fatal Influence getting called up, even now, you haven't developed a story with Fatal Influence. And what is Jade Cargill's faction called?
Don't know.
Okay, I was like, did I miss the name in there somewhere?
No.
The untitled Group A versus Fatal Influence. It's the only two women's factions I think of on SmackDown, and you haven't even started anything with them.
No, you haven't. And, well, the releases are not done yet. There's more.
Oh, yeah, there's definitely going to be more.
There's more.
I mean, people are calling for LA Knight and who was the other one I saw? It was a woman, and I'm drawing a blank. Was it Natalia?
Julia.
No, it was Bailey. People are calling for Bailey and LA Knight to get released because TKO keeps saying they're saving money. They're saving money. Those are two big contracts that you're not doing anything with.
Yeah. Some people are asking Julia to be released, not because she can't wrestle, it's because the way they're.
Please release Julia. Let her go back to Japan.
Yeah, they're not using her in the way where she should be one of the top wrestlers in the main event scene for the women. And then someone even said that. Yeah, I think you said it. No. This lady has said, it's amazing how in the women's division, as soon as you get called up, you go straight to the main event scene. That ain't happen with Julia. Julia get the men's treatment where she got to earn it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand that.
And Julia's the best wrestler on the entire roster next to Io Sky.
Yes. So it makes no sense that she has to suffer through bad creative, suffer through lackluster title run, suffer through everything she's going through.
Triple H is all about black-haired girls. I mean, the fact that he married Stephanie was just because he needed to ensure that he was going to have a job when he had to retire. But I mean, even Stephanie has dark hair. But look at Chyna. Look at Stephanie Bacher. Like all the girls he's into, they all have the same characteristics. I mean, it's the same as me. You have a type, you have a type. It is what it is. You liar.
I don't. But I hear what you're saying. So.
But no, I almost said that wrong. I feel bad that people got released, but I'm happy that a lot of the ones that got released. Dexter Lumis is already partnering back up with Indy Hartwell. Super happy about that. Super excited about that.
Yeah.
I love Indy Hartwell. Indy Hartwell's one that I actually got mad that they released.
Yeah, she's killing on
Um,
the Indies. She's going to be on House of Glory. She's going to
mhm.
be. I think she did wrestle on Maple Leaf. So there's some
the,
rumors
the
of
the
her going to
reason
make
I
a
don't get
perfect
mad
ten.
is because a lot of these people will go get other jobs as soon as they can. They've basically already locked stuff up. They just can't announce it because of the non-competes. But you get, as long as you know where to look, and that could be the frustrating part. If you're a WWE fan and you're a wrestling fan, but you're not a wrestling fan to the point of I watch all these other shows, then yeah, you're not going to see any of these people. But
No,
if
you're
you're
not.
actually a fan of the New Day, you'll find the New Day in AEW.
Oh, that's 100% correct. I mean, if you look at the MJF, it's a new day. Yes, it is.
Oh
You
yeah,
already
it
see.
was
You already
MJF.
have
It was a bunch of
people.
guys over there, and
Oh,
that, I mean, both of those guys are a little bit older.
yeah.
They're in their late 30s, and I mean, we're both in our 40s, but
Well, Kofi is about to be in his 40s.
yeah, he's about to be. But I mean, they're technically a little bit older in wrestling years. Going to AEW with like the Young Bucks and a bunch of people that they never get to wrestle. Xavier Woods paired up with Kenny Omega, two giant video game nerds. It's going to rejuvenate them. You're probably going to get
And,
some of their best work.
yeah, and the one thing that we also got to recognize is that the new day is fresh
Hmm.
because the WWE didn't use them. So when they go to AEW, they're not gonna have no wear and tear on their bodies. They're
Hmm.
fresh. And once they get to AEW, and yes, we are saying they're going to AEW because the AEW wrestlers, that locker room has been campaigning to get the new day.
Oh yeah.
Just look on Twitter. The fans, the wrestlers, they support the new day. They want the new day in AEW. I would not be surprised if Tony Khan has already given these guys a
Well, that's what I'm
contract.
saying. They've already got deals locked down, guaranteed.
Yeah,
They just can't
you just
announce
gotta
it.
wait for 90 days,
Yeah.
which I think is stupid because if you get released, you should automatically go ahead and go get another job.
I loved, what was it, 2 years ago when the whole non-compete thing like was
Yes.
banned,
Mm-hmm.
because you could see guys get released and then the next day they're showing up somewhere, and it was great.
Yeah. Yeah.
As somebody that works in an industry full of non-competes, I've had to deal with many non-competes in my day. There's ways around them. I can
Yeah.
promise you that.
Andrade already.
I've
Yeah.
found many loopholes in
Yeah.
non-competes.
Yeah. So they
Um,
Andrade.
yeah, you can basically, the thing with a non-compete is if you really push hard enough, they can threaten to sue you. And look what happened with Andrade. It just disappears.
Yeah.
Just
He was
disappears.
gone. He was gone for like 2 months, not even 2 months.
Hell, I'll
And
say
all
it.
of a sudden,
I've had companies
yeah,
threaten to sue me. I'm like, do it. Nothing ever comes of it. I just keep doing what I'm doing. Now it's too late. They can't do anything about it. But yeah, non competes, you take it in front of a judge and say, yeah, they're trying to keep me from making a living. Non competes in America alone are almost unenforceable in any state besides Michigan. And the only reason Michigan has a chance to enforce them is because of Rocket Mortgage and United Wholesale Mortgage. That's it.
yeah.
And I know because I worked at both. But every
So I
other
got a
state, they'll laugh a non-compete out of the building because you can't stop somebody from making money. The only reason WWE gets away with it is because the talent is still getting paid for that 90
yeah,
days. That's why they can
and
get away with it.
in which they don't have to be paid for those 90 days
No.
at all.
And that's how
And
Andrade got around it, is because he said, don't pay me. And he was actively not cashing the checks from them either.
mm-hmm.
So went to court and it's like, dude hasn't even cashed a check since you released him. So it's done.
Yeah. So I pulled up an article here, and
Oh, good old Alvarez.
yeah. So he talks about how this whole New Day thing happened. I guess like just by reading the article for the show, this was already in the works.
Well, yeah, they had been trying to restructure their contracts because their contracts were good until 2030, and they were both getting seven figures. TKO wanted to restructure their contract to save money, and they said no.
I don't
And
blame
I
him.
don't blame them, because the
I
longer you
don't.
guys take to argue with me back and forth to restructure my contract, I'm still collecting that check off the current contract. Takes 6 months. I'm going to collect 6 months of money.
Yeah.
And then finally it came down to no, we're not going to sign it. Okay, you're released. Cool. Now we're going to go make the same amount of money, probably more, going to AEW.
Yeah. So he goes on to say that he had an anonymous tip about the New Day was about to be cut. He didn't believe it, and I don't think nobody would believe the New Day. We talking about a faction that was created by Vince McMahon, or I'm rephrase that, who was created by Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, and Big E. They pitched this to Vince McMahon. They got over with Vince McMahon, and they got over with the crowd. This is the only tag team group that actually of color that actually got major over, not just with the WWE fans, but with non wrestling fans. That's the key. They got over with non wrestling fans. Everybody know who the New Day is.
I knew who the New Day was, but I will say the New Day's height of power was at a period of time where I just wasn't watching wrestling at all
Yeah.
because I was like, it's dumb. And then one time I did flip it on is when the New Day was on with the stupid trumpet, and I was like, this is what it's become. And then I saw the Miz was the champion at the same time. I'm like, how far has this company fallen? Like, it was bad.
Well, yeah. The height of their careers was the trumpet, the bootios, everything that you would think of that was silly, funny. They used that to get over. And plus, we already know Vince McMahon likes those silly, funny stuff. You know what I'm saying? He likes that. He likes that comedy slash wrestling. And
He likes
these
people that are
guys,
willing to embarrass themselves. Just say what it
yeah,
is.
yeah. But New Day, they did embarrass themselves.
No,
They were
they
just
made
being
it
funny.
work.
Yeah, they made it work. They were just being funny. I mean, we talking about three guys who let their inner child out and just be silly.
Now, just because she's on the picture there, I will always love Victoria. One of my absolute favorites all the way around. Love Victoria. But Zoe Stark, I have a big pet peeve when you release people when they're injured, especially because she got injured in an event on TV for you and you still release their mid injury. I have a problem with that.
By Kyrie saying
Yeah.
of a botch from Kyrie.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it was a botch.
It was a botch.
It
It
was
was
a
a botch
botch
in
slash she overshot it at the same time.
well, no. She ain't overshot it. Kyrie just wasn't in the right place where she was supposed to be where she can land the drop kick.
I mean, there's still a chance that she could have messed up the landing either way, but
Yeah, but
we can
yeah,
call it a botch. That's fair. We'll call it a
yeah, but
botch.
yeah, well, if you heard her in the ring, she screams out Kyrie.
Yeah.
Kyrie just wasn't in the
Well,
right
I know.
position. Yeah,
But
and
releasing people, especially with a serious injury, it's not like, oh, I have tendonitis and I'm going to be out for 6 weeks. Like, she destroyed her leg and you released her mid injury. I have a problem with that.
hey, same with Escobar. He came back from a major injury,
Escobar
which
was just out of pettiness. They just wanted to be able to say they fired him because
yeah,
he was going to walk away and willingly go to AEW and be a king.
he
They
did
brought
not
him
want
back
their
on a
money.
stupid, ridiculous contract just to put this guy in AAA so that people would forget about him. So that way, when
Yes,
they did fire him, like they've done now, he's not going to draw the same attention. And he probably will because Tony Khan is a little bit smarter than they give people credit for. But
yeah,
I don't think it worked the way WWE thought that they were basically going to bury him down in AAA and that when they fired him, he wouldn't be able to get hired. He's probably already got something locked up with AEW too.
he did not want their money.
Yeah.
He did not want TKO money. Escobar had plans of leaving the WWE because they weren't using him.
Yeah.
And he's a top rated talent. You put him in a faction with what was it? The Lost Garza?
No,
The
Los
Garza?
Fantasma
Yeah.
del Gosmio, or I don't know. I don't
Right.
speak Spanish.
So you let go of the mouthpiece, the girl, at first. You let her
The
go.
girl.
I can't remember her name. The lady, the tall. You let his
Oh,
mouthpiece go.
yeah.
You released her. She was the first one. You let her go. Then you got three guys here who are extremely talented, should have been over three times more. You didn't use them. You bring them back. All they would do was jobbing. Es- Esbar didn't come back because he was hurt. and his contract was coming up. He didn't want to resign. He didn't want your money. He had all designs were going to AEW or New Japan or somewhere in Mexico. He was going to rebuild himself back up, but you guys offered him a boatload of money, so he couldn't say no. He came back from a shoulder injury to get hurt again from the same shoulder injury because that shoulder injury he had the first time was botched by the doctor. So now he's in the surgery again to get it fixed, and y'all released him. Y'all did all of that just to release him again. So y'all gave him all that money that was unnecessary just to release him again.
Well, it's because they wanted to be able to say that they fired him.
That's crazy.
Out of pettiness. And can we talk about, since he's also on the screen, John Cena had to formally announce that he'll be at Backlash? Like, why'd you even retire? How desperate are they that they need you to show up on every single show to sell an extra 12 tickets?
And he has a major announcement at Backlash.
Yeah, it's for that stupid WWE club. That's all it is. Club WWE. So pay a subscription so that we can have CM Punk slap your phone out of your hand.
I can't wait to see it. And also in this article, the New Day, JC Mateo, Tonga Loa were also let go on Saturday. His sources have suggested other wrestlers could be on the chopping block. There were other names that this person mentioned that are apparently still there. Alvarez said, no substance to say. I think there are more names that are yet to be announced, but certainly watching SmackDown, there's a lot of people I'm a little concerned about. Look,
you've now announced that SmackDown's going back to 2 hours to make room for Braun Strowman's food show. How that's still a thing, I'm not sure. I've never watched it, but it shows about guys eating food I can't find to be that inspiring. But you're losing an hour of your show to make room for Braun Strowman. So yeah, they have to cut down talent on SmackDown because they need their hour. Well, they need their 40 minutes to an hour of commercials for their 3 matches that they're going to have on the show. Too much talent on the show.
So it goes on here that you already talked about the decision to be released by the WWE because they did not want they were not taking a pay cut, in which I don't blame them. You know,
especially at their age, no,
I don't.
Somebody's dumb enough to give you 7 figures, you take it.
Yeah. Which I am kind of surprised because I thought that Kofi was a 7-figure wrestler already, but apparently he wasn't. But
I'm surprised Xavier Woods was getting 7 figures. Because I mean, if you look at the long list of accomplishments, he's
hasn't done anything single
exactly. Like he's been a multi-time tag team champion, sure, but doesn't do anything in the solo at all.
No. Another reason I can say here and say that when Big E got hurt and when they decided to move Big E away from the New Day and have him do his own thing, I think the writing was on the wall then.
Oh, it was.
And
100% was.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, the New Day, I kind of felt the New Day was one of those groups where I think they waited too long to refreshen their character. Like you waited to 2024 for them to refreshen the New Day.
Well, first they tried that whole, what was his name? Not Orlando Jones, but Odyssey, yeah.
But
he's got his own domestic stuff, whatever going on, but they tried. It might have worked with him because he was like a bigger version of Big E. He was fun, goofy, and it might have worked. When all that stuff happened and you lost him, they waited way too long to figure out what to do with them. And then turning them heel didn't make any sense.
It made sense to a degree where that was that refreshing part.
That was the refresher, yeah, but there was no reason to have to turn on Big E. Like, they tried to force something that was a non-issue. The dude got hurt, injured his neck. Like, of course he's going to retire.
Yeah.
But at the same time, unless Big E said, I don't want to do as much of the traveling, Why wasn't he your manager? Why didn't he still come out? Yeah, he's not going to be able to do the crazy pelvic thrusts and stuff, but he could still be Big E. He could still be
I think
funny.
I think that's one of the few things like a lot of people wanted to know is that why guys that made Big E the manager or make him still be has some involvement with the New Day instead of him
Yeah.
just doing post show, pre show. The guy you can tell the guy wanted to be around the guys. You
Mm-hmm.
can clearly see that he wanted to be around Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods 24/7. I don't have a problem them turning heel on because of Big E. I don't mind that because that was the best way to do it, and that was the best way for them to garner heat. Because if we turn them heel,
It
no, they
was,
would
but
got
you
no
didn't
heat.
do enough. It's not like you were going to get Big E in the ring for them to beat him up. The whole point of him retiring was to not take those bumps. So that was
Right,
only going to be for an initial turn. And then they didn't do anything to follow it up to build any heat for them to make them believable. They were
right.
just bitter and petty that now we're heels.
No, but I get that, but that was the only way they could do it. That's the only way they can only get the New Day to get some heat, and which I do believe they were still they were still piping in the booze and all that stuff. That was the only way they can get that heat.
They could
And
have done some other stuff, but
they could, but it was the only thing that kind of made sense, Jamie, because it
no, I'm not saying
they
it didn't make sense. It's the fact of nothing was followed up to build up the heat.
right,
You didn't
right.
have Big E go and say, hey, grab two guys, go grab Los Garza. They weren't doing anything. Hey, I need you guys to help me out and take out the New Day or something. You know, something to give it a little life to build up the
Yeah,
heat for them.
yeah,
They didn't. They
yeah. I
basically
agree
kicked
with
them
you.
off of Raw, and that was it.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. The only I agree with you on that, it's kind of like when they did it, they're just like, okay, so what we do next?
Yeah.
It's like you came up with this idea, and I can't believe I give these guys some credit. That was a good idea by Triple H, but then it was kind of like, okay, so what are you gonna do next?
Well,
He
we're going
had
to put on our
nothing,
Mortal Kombat outfits or our Dragon Ball Z outfits, and we're going to change the color of them, and we're going to go out to the ring and be bad guys.
and that's what killed it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what killed it because you
Because they were
still
still the New Day, just trying to be heels instead of just being heels.
heal. Yeah, you changed their look. You made them look like a. You say Mortal Kombat. I'm gonna say cartoonish.
Well, no, they
Or
actually wore like the Sub-Zero and
yeah,
Scorpion outfits a couple
yeah,
times.
yeah,
They wore
yeah,
the Dragon
yeah.
Ball
Well,
Z outfits.
they were the knockoff of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
You changed their music, which I ain't have a problem with. What I have a problem with the music is that it just didn't fit the New Day.
No.
If you're gonna sit here and say, okay, we're gonna rebrand the New Day, go full blast and
Mm-hmm.
rebrand in the New Day. Don't you want the New Day? Let me phrase that. Kofi and Xavier want to be taken serious. Okay, so they want to be taken serious because that was their whole thing throughout their heel turn. You take us serious. Okay, so make them look serious. Make
Yeah.
them do something that would make the people in the back and the fans serious. Because other than that, if the New Day did what they did to Big E, verbally abuse him, people would still be cheering for the New Day. They'd be like, they just young, they're just playing, they're just joking.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
this is a prime example of a wrestling promotion who has all these good ideas and they work toward these good ideas, but then once they try to execute these ideas, they don't follow through. It's just not the New Day. The MFTs. And let me make the screen large when I say this because this what has to be said. We have nothing. Jamie has nothing against none of those guys at MFTs. It's not them.
Well,
All right.
Tongaloa is just trash. Like
Yeah, Tongaloa
you can watch like
is.
a 8-hour video on just his numerous botches since he's been a pro wrestler. It's
I
atrocious.
mean, yeah, but I'm not that mad at him
But no,
because
I'm not mad at the
it's
guy.
like
It's I kept saying
I'm not
release
going
him because you weren't doing anything. Once you got
to
rid of the Wyatt Six, there was nothing for them to do.
right. So it goes back to you bring these guys in as Solo's new family. Y'all, all of these guys and Solo supposed to be beefing with the bloodline. I'm still waiting on that. It was just a short thing. Only bloodline member they were wrestling most of the time was the Usos.
Well,
And
yeah, and
Solo was just
supposedly
fighting
now
Roman
that
Reigns.
Triple H is finally doing his bloodline civil war angle that he wanted to do 2 or 3 years ago. You think you would have kept those guys around for part of that, even though they're the Tongans, they still have relations with that side where it would have made sense. Especially if they are doing something with the Haku angle with Jacob. Why wouldn't you keep his kids? You got Tama, but isn't Tama Tama's the adopted one.
All of them.
Are they all adopted? I thought Tonga was his.
Well, they are, but they're family because I think two of them were. No,
Well,
you're
I mean,
right.
they're
Two
all
of them,
family, yeah, because
yeah,
they're
yeah, but
adopted.
two
But I
of them
thought Tama
were
was the only one that
brothers.
was adopted.
Yeah, two of them were brothers that were adopted by their uncle, which is Haku.
Yeah,
Yeah, Tama is adopted one.
yeah. So you
It,
release the actual family members of Haku. You're clearly trying to hint something with Jacob doing the Tongan death grip. Like, what are you guys doing?
that's just
It,
stupid. It's
it,
stupid. It's
at one
like
point, Raw is going to be nothing but Samoans. That's it. Because at some point they're going to go get Zilla. Karrion Kross, Killer Kross just gave him like the biggest props that he could possibly give them after their match they just had.
and Lance gonna be there pretty soon.
Yeah, like you're
It's Solo definitely going to Raw. He has no choice. I mean, he has a choice, but he really has no choice because his
they're already
fashion is
wrapping him up
gone.
in the storyline. There's no reason for him to stay on SmackDown.
Yeah, his fashion is gone. Y'all put Solo in the storyline. I guarantee you, he probably didn't want to be a part of right now. You remove Solo from the Bloodline family and from the Bloodline story so that he can be on his own and have his own family and do his own thing. Now you bringing Solo back into the fold for what? It makes no sense. And then you have the Usos go out here on SmackDown and confronting Solo and Tyler Tonga. Jacob did your father's finish move that was sacred to the family that one ain't supposed to be doing. Well, I wonder who gave Jacob permission to do that. Because evidently Tyler Tonga wasn't too upset about it.
Yeah, it doesn't have any legs right now. It's
It
like they're
does have
trying to
any.
make all these connections and everything. And it's like, can't you just tell
Why?
a simple story that can build into something? Like you're trying to make all these far overreaching. I guarantee you that probably in the next month to 2 months, they're going to come back and say, oh, it was Roman Reigns that ran over Jacob, and it was Roman Reigns that ran over Jay. And because they never did anything with it, and
They
they're
still
just
trying to
leaving it
figure that
hanging
out.
there. So that way, when Triple H runs out of ideas, he can just be like, oh, see, long term storytelling. I'm picking
Oh
this one
no.
back up.
You can use Chat GPT.
Yeah.
Allegedly. No. So you release Tonga Loa and Tama Tonga. Those two guys were the top tag teams in New Japan. They were one of the best tag teams in the world before they came to the WWE. And how many times we have said, hey, your tag team division, it sucks. It needs some life. You
Well, while
release,
you bring that up, think of the tag teams that are left.
it's only two.
Well, I mean, there's a couple. I mean, you got Alpha Academy. You
We haven't
got,
seen them.
well, I'm saying they're still technically there. You got Alpha Academy. You got uh,
The Street
American
Profits,
Made. That's the one I was trying to think of. American Made,
American made the
Alpha
Street
Academy, Los
Profits.
Garza, War
Uh,
Riders.
who?
War Riders.
Yeah, we haven't seen them either.
Well, yeah, ever since who was it? Gunther beat him up. Was it Gunther? Yeah,
Yeah,
Gunther
no,
beat
no,
him
no,
up and
no,
like
no, no. It was no, no, not
Oba.
Gunther. Oba.
Was it Oba? Oba, yeah, Oba.
Yeah,
Oba beat him up, and now they're just like gone. Like, but like you have no tag teams left, and you have two sets of tag team belts that And look who
You
has
know,
them. The Vision I have no problem with, but then R-Truth and Damian Priest. But yet you still have real tag teams around. Like,
it's so funny. They came out and said when Damian Priest went to SmackDown that Damian Priest is going to be in the main event scene. He's going to get this big push. It won't resort to a title, but he'll get a huge push.
the thing with WWE, when they said they're getting a push, it just means that they're going to fight for a title. Doesn't mean they're fighting for the heavyweight title. It just means they're going to fight for. Look at Finn Balor. Oh, he's going to get a big push. He got the fight for the title and lost.
Damian Priest hasn't fought for a title on SmackDown
No, he
since
got the
the
fight for
early
the tag
part.
team titles. Remember, it's not the heavyweight title. It's you get a big push for a title.
But wait a minute, but
Wait till that European
they
Championship
said so.
comes
Wait a
back.
minute. So his main event scene was his feud with Drew McIntyre. That's it.
I felt bad for him when he won the title and he did the whole presser, Puerto Rican champion. I'm going to do everything I can to run with this belt. And he basically got the Jey Uso treatment. Okay, we knocked it out for the summer. On to bigger and better.
Oh man, that's funny. He got the not only the Jey Uso treatment, he got the hey, you gonna be in the main event on SmackDown. Matter of fact, let's get over with now. But you gonna fight Drew McIntyre after the Drew feud, in which he won, by the way.
Yep.
And they're gonna R-Truth. You're gonna be his new tag team partner.
I mean, I'm happy for R-Truth that he's getting to do something, but like WWE just refuses to like let the fans miss John Cena in any way possible. Hey, we need you to come and host Backlash. Why do you need somebody to host a 2.5 hour show?
I don't know. I don't know. JC
Why? Because they
Mateo.
need to sell an extra 100 tickets, and that's what's going to move tickets. Is John Cena will be there, and then for Raw and SmackDown, hey, R-Truth, we don't need you to be anybody but Ron Cena, so that people can still think that they're seeing John Cena every week.
He can't beat Rod Killings for nothing.
Yeah, you can't be Ron Killings. We don't need any of that. We just need Ron Cena. Like, if I was
JC
him, like,
Mateo.
just release me. Let me go focus on my music and let me just go do something. Like, if you're not going to let me be me.
Yeah. I'm gonna slip this in. Jeff Cobb, aka JC Mateo, who just signed with the WWE, who's in his 40s, by the way, and there's the reason why I said that he's in his 40s, who took a chance, who probably thought this was his last opportunity to wrestle for a major promotion in the States because he moved from New Japan to the United States to be in the
Well,
WWE.
New Japan presented him as a monster.
Right.
Lucha Underground presented him as a monster. But I guarantee you,
WWE,
WWE realized how tall he was, and they were like, yeah, no.
but still couldn't have made him look like a monster.
Still could have, yeah. Just chose not to.
If you can have Bronson Reed, as you said, Jamie, the 300-pound fat man slam from the top rope.
It's a fat man falling off the top rope.
Yeah. Yeah, if you can do that, and you got him portraying like a monster, a tsunami, a monster, you telling me you can't do that to Jeff Cobb?
I just wish Jeff Cobb would have used a different finisher in WWE. Tour of the Islands is fine, but for a finisher, it's got to have a little more pizzazz, especially when you're a guy of that size. Like, you just got to have something. Tour of the Islands would have been fine as like a signature move leading to the finisher.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of like how I feel with MJF. The only knock I have on MJF, Heat Seeker should be a signature, not a finisher.
Yeah, I totally agree with that one. My problem with the whole thing with Jeff Cobb is that this guy moved from Japan to the WWE. He in his 40s. He took a chance and he got screwed over. I was about to say the other word. He got screwed over.
And he did. I mean, I get it from his perspective. Like, hey, this is my one shot. They actually want me. I'm going to go.
In my big payday.
Yeah. And you got stuck in the MFTs, which he probably knew from day one he was screwed.
No, that and they put the best thing that the WWE can say about with Jeff Cobb is that, hey, we put face paint on your face. Why?
Yeah, all of a sudden the MFTs have face paint. Like, why?
Why? Now the Tongans, I understand because they had that face paint on. They
Yeah,
was in New Japan. I know some people think it's silly, but that was their persona in New Japan. They had a trio name, I forget, but Jeff Cobb did not
it was
need
the
face
gorilla
paint.
something.
Yeah, Jeff Cobb did not need face paint on his face. This man made it a name for himself without the face paint and without being part of a faction.
Well, and that was the knock on him too, is that WWE wants to focus on getting younger because people like me that complained about WrestleMania, basically everybody was in their 40s plus. Now all of a sudden they want to get younger. Jeff Cobb, you're like
So
42 years old. You're just an old man now, and you're not Cody and you're not Roman. So
So that's the whole thing I was gonna get to is because the one thing TKO came out and said is that they want to get younger and they want to focus on the young talent that's coming to the WWE. So you gonna sit here and tell me you want to get younger, in which I applaud them for admitting that they want to get younger and they want to feature some of these young upcoming superstars. So if you want to get younger, why is CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, um, Drew McIntyre,
yeah, what?
um, who else I'm missing here? The Usos, the War Raiders, Sheamus. Why are these guys are still part of the company? Why is your main event scene is 40 and over? And the only young guy you have your main event scene is Cody Rhodes. And Cody Rhodes, this is his last run. Will Cody Rhodes get done with this run, he'll be in his 40s.
I
So
mean, he's
why?
already 40 now,
Okay,
but
but
yeah,
he'll be. I think he'll be in his mid 40s, like 45, 40. He'll be
yeah. I don't
46.
know how long was his contract that he signed.
He
His
had a
last one.
5 year.
I thought it was 5 or 6.
So
Yeah,
yeah, I think his and Becky Lynch were the same.
yeah.
So why would you come out and say you want to focus on your young talent, but you have everybody your main event scene is old? If you want to really want to move some of your young people in the main event scene, you know what I'm talking about. That's name them: Brian Breaker, Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams, Javon Evans, Ilya
Ilya.
Dragunov. Uh, Look, I would Gunther is in main event scene, but Gunther's old too. Gunther's going to be 40. Um, who am I missing? Hey, Dominic Mysterio. That's your young talent. If you serious about moving a young talent to the main event scene, move them to the main event scene. If you wanted to get rid of all your old wrestlers, stop contradicting yourself and cut your old wrestlers. It makes
Javon
sense.
Evans. I love Javon Evans. I think he's great. And just the attitude and what you hear from other wrestlers that have been around a long time that talk about him, he's got the John Cena mentality where he just goes up and talks to everybody because I can learn something from everybody. Like he's got the right attitude about how he goes about things. He's a sponge. I have this thing with him where it's like Rey Mysterio. And Javon Evans is why I keep begging for like a cruiserweight, lightweight title, something, because he's Kofi Kingston.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that from, oh, it's a black guy that jumps around. Like
No, no, no.
he's a beanpole.
His skill set is
Yeah, his
similar.
skill set, but he's a beanpole. It's
Yes, it
not
is.
going to look realistic. Javon Evans versus Gunther. Javon Evans versus Braun Breaker. Javon Evans versus Obafemi. It's the equivalent of Rey Mysterio. Yeah, Javon Evans is a little bit taller, but Rey Mysterio versus the Big Show. Nobody ever wanted to see that.
No.
And that's why
And
they got rid of it as quick as they did.
yeah,
You need a title that has the same impact as being heavyweight champion, like TNA. The X Division title became more popular than their heavyweight title. That's what WWE needs because make it 225. 225, you still have opportunities for guys like Seth Rollins to compete for it if you wanted to help put guys over. But it's going to be hard if Javon Evans was ever world heavyweight champ for him to have long, consistent runs. I mean, even look at Kofi. Kofi got the summer of Kofi of what was it? I wasn't watching. This again was during a period of time where I just wasn't watching. Was that
The summer
16?
Kofi happened
It
in
was 16, wasn't it?
yes, 16 or
Because I didn't
17.
watch from like 10 to 18. Because it was every time I turned it on, it was just terrible. So luckily I missed all the Miz stuff for the most part, which was satisfying.
Hey, he shouldn't
Um,
be there either. He's old.
he's at least working with the new guys. But again, Danhausen is making them a ton of money right now in merchandise. But once he gets exposed about how bad he is in the ring, people aren't going to want to see him anymore. Because again, if you can't go in the ring, your backstage segments are only going to take you so far before people are like, I don't care. I mean, even people are feeling that way with Jey Uso, and nobody can doubt me on that. When you had this guy coming out just to hype up the crowd during Raws without even getting in the ring. Danhausen, the character's great. He's funny, very, very evil, very nice, whatever. The whole thing, it all works for him. And he's a big wrestling historian. I've watched plenty of interviews with Chris Van Vliet and things like that, where he does just the whole history of everything. And it's good. But in the ring, he has the same problem. He makes Sami Zayn look like a big dude. Because he doesn't work out, he doesn't have a body. His chest tattoo is almost the size of him. Like, it's not going to be believable. And that's why his mystery partner might be Elton Prince, but I think Elton Prince isn't going to move the needle. They need to have somebody big and somebody that can cover for Danhausen in the ring because he's not good.
No. Kofi Kingston won the WWE Championship in 2019.
It
And
was
Kofi Kingston,
19?
yes. And Kofi Kingston is 44 years old.
He's older than me.
Yeah. He's 44.
I didn't think he was that old. I thought he was like my age exactly, close to it, but
no, 44. I understand, guys like Danhausen, CM Punk, they sell a lot of merch. They're merch sellers. I get that. But you're still contradicting yourself when you say you want to get younger.
yeah, because Danhausen's not young. He's
No,
not a 22, 23-year-old guy. He's like 36.
Yeah. Rey Mysterio is 51 or 52 years old. And he's playing an instrumental part in your main event / mid-card scene. Why? And he's already in the Hall of Fame. I have nothing against a lot of the older wrestlers. I'm a fan of a lot of them. But all I'm saying is, if you're going to concentrate on the young talent that's coming up, and you say you want to cut guys who are older, then follow through what you said. CM Punk don't have a lot of time left. Roman Reigns had to rework his schedule so he can work through May. He has June off. He'll be back in July.
I'm going to be here all summer. That lasted for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Somehow, I don't know if it was him or the WWE, but that got reworked real quick.
He's like, I'm not going to Europe. I'm not dealing with all that. No, take me off.
It's not even Europe. He's not going to be in the States when they come back from Europe.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because they're not gone the whole month. They're only gone like 2 weeks of the. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So he's gone for the whole month of June.
I just love it. I'm going to be here all summer. That lasted for 2 weeks. So now I'm wondering with that if they might have him drop the title to Jacob, knowing that he's going to be gone. Or if they're just going to use that to where they don't have to worry about any storytelling for Roman to easily carry them into SummerSlam.
According to reports, he's going to have the title through the summer.
I get it. But at the same time, you've got two guys that you need to be pushing hardcore right now, Jacob and Oba. And they are missing the window on both of them.
I'm just saying, man, like, hey, look, I do not blame Roman Reigns at all. I don't. I 100%.
No,
I don't. I mean, this man, you sent this man out here and said yeah, I'm gonna be here all summer. All of a sudden, you guys change it. Like, nah, he ain't gonna be here in June. What?
On a personal level, I would have no issue with Roman Reigns because he just showed up and Vince McMahon got a chubby and was like, oh, all the things I can do with this guy, and just pushed him to the moon. Even when people were just booing this guy out of the building, we're just gonna keep pushing him. We're just gonna shove as much of Roman down your throat as we can, every inch. And I'm trying to make that as awkward as I can because you're laughing so hard. To the
Yeah, because I know because I know what you replace Chubby with. That's why.
but like this dude's
Oh,
like 40, 46 or something.
no, wait, let me pull it up. I just had it up, man.
I think he's like 44 or 46.
Oh boy, Roman Reigns. He's 40 years old.
Oh, he's only 40?
He'll
Oh,
be
CM
no,
Punk's the old guy. He's like
he'll
48. That's what
be
I was thinking of.
Roman will be 41 in a few weeks.
Yeah,
And
Roman and Cody are like the same age. That's what it was.
Roman,
Yeah.
Cody, and the Usos are
Yeah,
40,
because Jay
41.
and Jimmy are like 39 or something, I think.
No, they're 40.
Oh, they're 40 now?
Yes.
Um, but no, like Roman is probably the most humble dude backstage because he probably realizes that he was overly pushed into the position that he's in. And people like me hate him for it because he doesn't really deserve to be there. But he's there and he's made the most of it. And he's at least gotten better. It's not like he's stayed at the exact same level of when he was getting that initial push back in 15. He has gotten better. He can go out there by himself and cut a promo. Um, his promo work against CM Punk was far better than I expected. It still had a lot that it could have been better with, especially the whole "you're old" line. Like when you're supposed to be the guy, you need to be able to be cutthroat when needed. But um, they've got to look at moving on from him though. Like, and the guys that they're, Jay Uso, you're not exactly getting younger there, as you just said. They're 40. So you're just replacing one guy that's going to technically be the old guy with another guy that's going to be the old guy. And Jacob, if they were to push, if anything, put Jacob or Zilla in that, and you can't count Zilla because he's not even there yet. Who knows when he'll get there? But those would be, even Jacob is in his mid 30s now, I think, or close to his mid 30s. So he's a little bit younger.
Jacob turned 34 on night one of WrestleMania.
Okay, so he's in his mid 30s. But like Zilla would be your ideal one, or Lance, but they're not even there yet.
No. Okay, so the Usos, Cody Rhodes, and Roman Reigns all will be 41 May and August. Gunther is 39.
I was gonna say I know Gunther's close to 40.
It's 39.
Yeah.
So hold on, who else?
How old's
Who else
Carmelo
is?
Hayes and Ilya? Those are the two I'm curious about.
Ooh, as soon as I type in Carmelo pops up.
Well, yeah, you've been
Carmelo
looking
Hayes
up
is
wrestling
30.
guys, so the algorithm knows what you're looking at.
Carmelo Hayes is 31.
Okay.
Ilya is 32. All right.
Right
And
around what I
just
would have
for
thought.
and Trick Williams is 31. Will be 32
How
in a
old's
few
Braun
weeks.
Breaker? Isn't he like 28 or something?
He is 20. He'll be 29 in
Oh, okay.
October. So
That's
he's
pretty spot
28.
on.
So every guy that allegedly to them are young are in their prime should be in the main event right now. Ilya, Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams, they're 31, 32 years old. They are in their prime right now. And also, they go to show you that they dropped the ball on three of these guys, but keep them in NXT for as long as they did. They should have been called up a few years ago. And just for one more thing, because they even said Roxanne Perez is the one who should be in the main event scene. So let's see. Roxanne Perez. How old is Roxanne Perez? Roxanne Perez is not even close to her prime, and she is 24 years old, going on 25 in November. She's supposed to be in the main event scene. This is the one y'all call the prodigy. This is the one that allegedly y'all was supposed to put the title on, but you're
Yeah.
not doing it. Trick Williams should have been called up years ago. Carmelo should have been called up years ago. Dragunov should have been called up
So
years
this
ago.
is the thing. Back when those guys were still in NXT, NXT didn't travel.
No. So
They
they
didn't start
just
traveling
trained.
until like last year. Like they would have their big events that they would travel to, but everything was
Yeah.
always based at the performance center. They
Yeah.
didn't start traveling regularly until last year. And that was because Shawn Michaels went to Triple H and Nick Khan and was like, if you need superstars, these people need to get noticed. And that's when Nick Khan did his, okay, we'll give you what you need. And they started letting NXT travel. Then you saw Trick Williams take off. You saw Braun Breaker take off. You saw these guys start getting traction. But before
So
that, all these guys were getting the same audience every week. It was just the same people coming to the performance center.
right. So mine is Roxanne Perez and Braun Breaker. Those other three guys, you can honestly sit here and say that Shawn Michaels should have did that about 5 years ago. He should have went to them like 5 years ago. 5 years ago, who was in charge? Oh, Vince McMahon. Okay, that kind of makes sense.
Shawn Michaels is the one I want to take over for Triple H. I think wrestling would get so good if he was in control instead of Triple H. Because think of the job that Shawn Michaels has to do. He has to turn these guys into stars just to have them plucked away from him. So he's constantly having to develop people to be stars just to lose them.
Yeah, but Triple H did the same thing when he's down at NXT.
And what did he do with them when he got them? Where's Tommaso Ciampa? Where's Johnny Gargano? Where's Killer Cross?
Oh, they
What's
nowhere.
Roxanne Perez really doing?
She's doing nothing. She's just a lackey for Liv Morgan. Now they give her something, but how long that's gonna last?
Yeah.
I don't see her teaming with Ben Balor, which allegedly that's what's gonna happen. That's not a partnership that's gonna last long.
They need to stop doing the whole man-woman combination thing unless they're going to bring a mixed tags titles to WWE. And quite honestly, I might think that might be well within their plan, being that you've lost all your tag teams.
Drop the tag team titles. Get rid of them. Get rid of
That's
the
what I'm
tag team
saying.
titles.
Drop the tag titles, bring in mixed tag titles. You've got Finn Balor, Roxanne Perez, Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, Montez and Bianca when Bianca's back. Ethan Page, Chelsea Green still works, or you could do Chelsea Green, Matt Cardona.
There you go.
I mean, I only said Ethan Page because they've already done it as the tag titles.
Yeah.
But like, you've got a lot of actual pairings that would make for good TV.
Yeah. I'm gonna say
Hell,
this.
if Brandy Rhodes wanted to strap the ring gear back on, her and Cody could go out there.
That would be an uproar. So, because I know we got a few minutes left in the show. The Street Profits are back, but they on Raw. And I'm gonna say this because I'm not to be. I don't want to piss off the Street Profits fans.
I forgot the Street Profits came back. That's my fault as much as I love Montez.
I don't want to make their fan base mad or anything. But let me tell you guys something. If the WWE do not do anything with Street Profits between now and let's say SummerSlam, they're gonna be released.
Oh, 100%.
100%.
Especially because they're sitting there paying Bianca to do nothing for another 9 months probably. Because she's closer to having the baby, but she's gonna have all that maternity leave afterwards.
Yeah. I don't think the Bianca thing plays a part in it. It's just that every time you put them in something, you give them the titles, you don't do anything with them, or when you don't give them the titles, you still don't do anything with them, and it's just gonna be a waste of money.
Well, look at the competition they have to go against now.
They have no competition.
I love Las Garza. Las Garza is great. The combination of those two, they're great. When they did that whole tag team titles, they should have won that. Why they let it go to R-Truth and Damian Priest, beyond me. They were the stars of that tournament, and they're an actual tag team.
Yeah.
They should have won that. Yeah. But that's basically your top tier to give them for competition in the tag team division is Las Garza. It's not Alpha Academy. It's not American Made. The War Raiders, I mean, Ivar could retire at any minute now. The dude's got a bunch of health issues he's talked about. Like,
They won't be featured on TV no time soon.
yeah. And Eric, he's got all those neck surgeries, and plus he has a new baby. I saw that recently within the last couple months.
Congratulations to him. Yeah. If they
there's nobody left.
It's not. If they don't do it in the Street Profits, they're gonna get released. And I don't care what y'all got to say. Oh, Montez could be a single star. That's dead. That's dead. Triple H killed that.
Yeah.
He killed that. He killed that the exact same way that he killed the Day Little faction with Bobby Lashley. That got killed. So the Street
And I heard the UFC thing got killed for him too. He's not doing the UFC fight now.
Nah. I won't be surprised that's because of the WWE. I would not be surprised by that. But if they don't do it in the Street Profits,
I just want to know they made that big point to say, oh, we have them down in doing Performance Center stuff and rebranding them. They're the exact same. What rebranding did you do?
Same music, same.
Yeah, you didn't rebrand them at all. You gave them some matches for ring rust, but there was no rebranding there. You didn't come out with a new manager. You didn't come out with a new outfit, new gimmick, new moveset, new anything.
Nah. The worst thing they ever did.
Angelo Dawkins looks a little bit more in shape.
He does. He lost a lot of weight. He put on muscle. The worst thing, the worst thing the Street Profits ever did was that they became edgier, and the WWE didn't do anything to help them to become that edgier side they wanted to be.
The Street Profits should have taken from AEW. The Street Profits should have bordered on Private Party and the Acclaimed from AEW. They should have been like a hybrid of those two teams.
I think, well, in the beginning they were, but I kind of think if you can tell that gimmick they was doing, it was getting old and stale. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong. I like the damn red cup stand. You know what I'm saying? That was cool. But after a while, that got bored.
Yeah.
That it got bored. Their personality, as funny as they are, it got stale. When they went with Bobby Lashley, they were trying to put them together. They became a little edgy. They became serious. They were focused. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is the best I had ever seen Angelo Dawkins wrestle. We already knew Montez Ford was good, was going to be sent to one of the best wrestlers. But Dawkins, 100% improved big time. But then once you gave him the titles, you didn't do anything with them. And the simple fact that it took you guys 5 years to put the titles on them because you want to develop the tag team division, you failed at that. So
big time.
So if you come out here and say, hey, we're gonna have them beat the division, we're gonna put the titles on them. If you don't do anything with them, release them. Because it's gonna be a waste of time. Straight up waste of time. And I guarantee you're going to see MJF drop a line. Them red cups, those red cups, they're going to be AEW. On this show, we don't hate on wrestlers. On this show, we support all the wrestlers. It's just that the people they work for are failing them. Mm-hmm. And if you're going to continue to say you want to get younger, you want to feature the young talent, well, back it up. You got 2 wrestlers who are in the Hall of Fame on major storylines. Excuse me. You have 3 wrestlers. Excuse me. You got 4 wrestlers. I really don't count Paige because Paige is not in the Hall of Fame. But I'll get to Paige in a minute because we got like a minute left. The Bella Twins and Rey Mysterio should not even be on TV. They're the Hall of Fame. They should not be wrestling.
Nope.
Just because these ladies want to hold the tag team title and just because Rey Mysterio wants to see his son succeed and become a good wrestler, mission accomplished. Get out. And to all those people, all those Paige fans, I know she ain't been in WWE in a minute, but all y'all people got the same energy about Jade Cargo and her botches. I better hear the same treatment from Paige. I better see the same treatment from Paige. She don't get no excuse. You can't say she got ring rust because damn it, she was in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
Now she might not wrestle in a couple of years, but that woman has been training. That woman better get the same treatment that y'all people get Jade Cargo.
Oh,
So
I
I
will
got
for sure.
so
I
I
was
got to
never a Page fan to begin with.
because I mean we seen the real bad bot she did on Friday Night SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
You guys give Jay Cargo hell on her botches to the point where I seen half y'all females. Oh, I don't like that woman personally, and you ain't know this woman personally. Paige back at the same treatment. That's all I gotta say. Any last comments? Anything to say?
No,
All
no.
right.
I think we covered basically as much as we need to right now. Got
Yep.
to
And to
save some for
those,
later this week.
yeah, and to those who gonna watch Raw, enjoy. To those who gonna watch SmackDown this Friday, enjoy. Just keep me and Jamie updated.
Still gonna watch it. I'll just be doing something else at the same time. Keep myself
Oh
entertained
boy,
anyway.
I will be on the job, so I can't watch it.
I'll
As you
text you all the
know,
highlights.
I just pop it on YouTube. If I see something I like, I'll watch it. If I see something clownish, I'll just.
There you go.
All right.
All right,
So
dude.
we'll see you guys Saturday. Go Pistons. Oh, and by the way, if you're a Piston fan, Jamie Biggerself got a brand new contract extension, and because they announced that, I don't like it. But go Pistons. See you guys on Saturday. We out. Peace.
Later.